I got some bad news, guys. There are still some terrible stocks out there to own, and unfortunately, a lot of these are retail favorites. And yes, I'm going to talk about that one stock that is making all the headlines right now, and it will be probably the most controversial stock that I've ever talked about on this channel. It definitely has a chance to be that. I know this video is usually controversial, but it's going to be especially controversial today. But I'm going to give you a true, honest take on these stocks here. No hype, no bias, no nonsense of any kind out there. No anything else, just simple facts about these stocks. That's it. Just make sure you like the video if you like getting the truth without the hype. Now look, like I say every time when we do this video, I have bad stock picks. Warren Buffett had bad stock picks. Everybody has bad stock picks. You've got to get over the fact that you're not going to have some because you are going to have some, and that's okay. If the greatest investor of all time can have them, you're going to have them as well. So there's no judgment here if you happen to own these. I'm not saying there's not a trade here or anything else like that. I'm not saying that at all. I'm viewing this from a long-term buy and hold investor's perspective. And from my perspective, these are some of the worst stocks out there to own right now today. Now, something can change in the future. Absolutely, it can. I'm not saying that. But in regards to all the information we have right now today, these to me are some of the worst stocks out there. And unfortunately, yeah, guys, a lot of them are retail favorites. And of course, the controversial stock there at the end, I've gotten asked about all over the place. So I figure, well, heck, I don't want to talk about it, but we'll talk about it right here. So stock number one is Legacy Auto. I don't know, take your pick, guys. Ford, GM, whatever, doesn't matter. Pick one of the stocks. To me, there is absolutely nothing here. They have huge albatrosses all over their balance sheet and their income statement and everywhere else, all over the financials. It's just ugly all the way around. I would love for these to be better stocks. I would love to, of course, support those American automakers, but they made their bet a long time ago, and they're just not good companies to own in regards to long-term buy and hold stocks. For me, there are just far better places to put my capital to work that are going to make me a lot more money over the long run than these stocks. So stock number two is Lucid. I don't know why I keep getting asked about this stock, but it comes up periodically. And guys, until they actually start performing, until they actually get out of all the production issues that they're having right now, it's just not a good stock to own. They have to kind of get on that other side before I would even consider taking up a Lucid position. Now, there was a trade probably about a year ago. So there's probably trades now too. I don't know. There was a trade that I was interested in about a year ago, but the trade fell apart. So I backed away from it. That's what you do as a good investor. When you see a setup that you may like the trade, and then the trade doesn't actually come to fruition, you don't force it. You just get out of it and you move on to another trade. And in that case, I just chose to not trade altogether because it just wasn't there anymore. But outside of something like that, I don't know if they're going to be around long term, especially if those Saudi backers decide to leave. Well, then at that stage, you're done. The company is done as a company. This is a tough environment. High interest rates are hitting them a lot harder than they're hitting Tesla and other automakers. And more importantly, they're in that ultra luxury space. And that's just a hard space to begin with, much less during a time like this. And of course, with a name like Lucid, where you aren't really out there like your Mercedes, your BMW, all the rest. And of course, your demographic also tends to skew older, which according to all the data and all the studies also says older folks are less interested in EVs than younger folks are. That makes this a very hard time for Lucid to gain any real traction. I'm not going as far as to call it bankrupt or anything else like that, but it's one that I'm going to take a wait and see approach on. And basically, you prove it to me. And then at that stage, there'll be an opportunity to possibly invest if they're able to get to that other side. But right now, that's far from certain. So number three is AI plays that are speculative. Look, AI to me seems to be in two completely different worlds right now. You have those that are highly profitable in the AI space, absolutely crushing it in regards to earnings. Sure, they've been on a rocket ship up. Some of them have, 2x, 3x, 4x, whatever over the past year, had incredible runs, but they've had earnings to back it up. So the valuations are not terrible. In some cases, I can make a case that they're actually undervalued at that stage. But on the flip side, when anytime you have a hype cycle like we have right now behind AI, you have a scenario to where there's companies out there that have nothing more than really a PowerPoint, and they're going to the moon as well, and they're kind of riding that wave. Those are the ones that I'm cautioning against. Think about even back during the EV craze. Tesla got to a point where it was so far overvalued, it was trading at 1,000 PE. It was utterly ridiculous at that stage. So think about how high of a valuation all the other companies that weren't producing anything or were barely producing anything, think about how ridiculous their valuations got. That right there is what I'm starting to see in the AI space. Now, it's not all of them. And no, even the leader, the top dog in the AI race right now is not that far overvalued. They're not overvalued at all, really, depending upon which metric you want to use. But there are absolutely some AI plays that they're going to crash and burn, and a lot of folks are going to be left hurting. So you got to stay away from those. And if you want to see a list of great stocks to buy, complete with price targets, and see me buy them in real time, make sure you check out the pinned comment down there, because the sale ends in just 4 days for my group. And after that, the price goes up, where you get access to that list. You get to see my buy and sell alerts in real time. You get access to free coaching. You get 5 courses for free. You get to be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8 figure Discord out there. You got direct access to me anytime you want. Slide in my DMs, jump on our Q&As, whatever you want to do. Just make sure you check out the pinned comment down there and take advantage of the membership for the March Madness sale ends and the price goes back up. All right, so these last 2 stocks that we're going to talk about here are going to get a lot of you guys riled up. And like I said, the last one I've never talked about before. I may never talk about it again, but it's going to be the most controversial, or one of the most controversial stocks that I ever talk about. So make sure you stick around for that one as well. But let's get to number 4 first. And number 4 would be AMC and GameStop. I'm sorry, guys. I just don't see it with either one at their current prices, their current valuations. It's just not there. I don't know why folks are hanging on to this dream that somehow the $100,000 per share super squeeze of all time, I don't know, whatever, mega, gamma, kappa, whatever squeeze is coming. I have no clue where these narratives have come from, outside of the fact there's people that built entire channels and businesses around it. And so they're going to continue to do that, I guess, until people finally figure out after, I don't know, 5 years, 10 years, whatever the case is. I mean, we're several years into this now, that it's not going to happen and it's not actually real. And there's nothing behind these companies in order to actually support those type prices and that type of ridiculous pricing that is honestly never going to happen. Now, there could very well be a trade there. I have no idea. I'm not trading these stocks. I have no interest in trading these stocks. And you're right, traders are going to trade those stocks, and there might very well be something there. But guys, this is a long-term buy and hold investor. That's what I am. That's what this channel is all about. And I don't understand those games. I don't want to know those games. More importantly, it's not a game that I personally want to be involved with, because it's completely out of my hands. There's good trades, and then there's trades like these that are based not necessarily as much on the setup, but based purely on hype and hope and a lot of other things that you just can't predict. And they're just not a good way to trade either, in my opinion. So I'm staying far, far away from those stocks. All right, so it's time for the most controversial stock that I probably ever discussed, but I don't want to discuss it. But hey, I've gotten asked so much about it. I got to address it right here with you guys at least one time. And then after that, we'll talk about it when something actually happens with the stock. So stock number 5 is DJT. Now, you guys know I don't do politics, so I'm not going to discuss politics here. I don't care. I don't care about it. We're just gonna simply discuss facts from a long-term buy and hold investor's perspective. That's it. All the rest of that noise and all the rest of that garbage, not here. That's not what I'm interested in at all. That's not how I'm evaluating the stock, more importantly. Yes, I am positive there are tons of trades, both to the upside and the downside, to be made. I agree completely there. But again, I'm not a trader. This is simply from a long-term buy and hold investor's perspective. And is there something there for somebody that wants to hold this stock for years into the future? That right there is what we're discussing. We're discussing the facts around that only, none of the other noise that comes with this. So here are the facts, guys. It is a multi-billion-dollar market cap stock. That's right there is what we're looking at right now. But the second fact that comes along with that is that it's only based upon $4 million worth of revenue, not profits. They're losing money. $4 million worth of revenue. That's million with an M, not billions. $4 million. Here's another fact for you guys. Reddit, which is a social media type platform, has a $10 billion market cap. So of course it is larger, but they have 800 million in revenue last year, and they just IPO'd just like DJT did. Exactly the same there. They just IPO'd, and yet one has 800 million. The other one has 4 million. I think we can all agree that it's factual that those are two vastly different numbers there. And the final fact is they gave no guidance whatsoever in regards to profitability or even future revenue. They did not even give us a range in regards to that. So for me, I am staying far, far, far away from this because there's a lot of red flags right now. Now, those red flags could change, I agree. But for right now, there's very, very minimal revenue. There's no guidance on what that revenue could be. Oh, and by the way, we haven't even gotten to the lockout period expiring yet, to where all the investors, the early investors and everybody else can dump their shares on the market. So for me, until those shares have all dumped on the market and we get actual guidance about what this company is going to do, not only in terms of revenue, but in terms of, is there a path to profitability? What are the business models? How do they plan on generating more revenue in the future? All those sort of things like that. Until all those questions can be answered and we have definitive facts on those, I'm going to stay far, far away from this investment. Because right now, it is extremely overvalued based upon the facts that we have right now. And until we get that other information there's no way to justify buying at these prices at this particular stage. So I'm staying far, far away for now. And remember, if you want to see all my buys on the stocks that I do want to buy in real time, and you want to see my complete watch list, complete with price targets, you want to take 5 courses for free, you want to get a hold of that free coaching and be a part of that, you want to have direct access to me anytime you want to use our stock analyzer tool, you want to be a part of the best 6, 7, and 8-figure Discord of all kinds of members helping you out and helping you become a better investor, make sure you take advantage of the sale that expires in just 4 days for my group, where you get access to all that. And there is so much more coming. We got a couple of big announcements coming next week in the group. Make sure you get your membership before that price goes up. And click this video here if you want to see exactly what I'm buying in this market. And click here to see my exact plan for this market. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.